All right, hey, this is Doug Padgett, and as you know, the Church Planners Academy is coming May 3rd through the 5th, 2012 in Minneapolis, and I'm in Minneapolis right now, and Bob Hyatt's going to be one of the contributors to the Church Planners Academy, and he is in Portland, Oregon. Bob is a part of the Evergreen community, and Bob, tell us how you all got your start.
Well, Doug, it was about 8 years ago this time of year when I was working at a large church here in Portland, and I think a really good, healthy example of the model that they were working with, of the kind of willow back type church. The problem was it was becoming increasingly clear to me and to them that I was kind of at a different place church-wise and ministry philosophy-wise. I was asking a lot of questions, which I think were kind of making some people uncomfortable at that time. Started doing some writing, and in particular wrote one article about the 4th of July service there. Didn't really mention the name of the church, but took some issue with the Star Spangled Banner in the worship set and saying the Pledge of Allegiance and those kind of things. And that's when they told me, we like you, just maybe like you over there, and your time here is going to come to an end. At that point, I had been really wrestling with getting, I was working on their media staff and felt the call back into ministry and was wondering what that was going to look like. I started putting out a lot of resumes and not really getting a whole lot of answers back in terms of, well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I was always getting to number 2 and number 3 in the process.
Right.
And it says, though God was saying to me, I need you back in ministry, but I'm not going to let the turkey anybody out. So after a long time of kind of banging my head against the same questions in ministry and the same problems of looking under somebody else's paradigm, it was pretty clear that God was saying to me, you need to start something new. You need to step up.
Is that something you had done before? Had you started a new organizations or efforts or ministries before?
I hadn't. We had started kind of the church within a church thing somewhere and had shut it down after seeing that didn't really work. And though it was successful in and of itself, we were getting a lot of pushback from the church within which we were a church. And so it kind of got to the point where it was, well, I guess I need to put up or shut up. I need to step out and start this thing that we'd always talked about. And all these ideas that we had about how church should be done, I guess we have to actually give it a try and see if we know what we're talking about. Turns out we didn't, but that's okay. That's part of the grace of church planning, I think, is coming to that place where you recognize that you are not the pinnacle of ecclesiastical evolution. That you're human just like all those other people that have started churches and started things.
So how long was that process from when you started to have that feeling at the church that you were working at until the Evergreen community was something that you knew existed and were up and a part of?
I woke up on October 26, 2003, with the idea that I need to send out a bunch more resumes. And through the process of various conversations that day, God actually turned me around. I woke up first thing in the morning and looked at my wife, and we almost never do this, but I opened my eyes and she was looking at me, which was a little disconcerting.
Right.
And the first words out of her mouth were, well, I guess we could sell the house, we could sell the car, because we knew my job was coming to an end. We just got pregnant, just bought a house. And I said, honey, I don't think it's going to come to that. I think we'll be okay. And she said, no, I mean to start a church. And I said, oh, okay. So I went to coffee with a friend that I've been mentoring, and I was filling out a 17-page application for a young adult's position in Stockton, California. And I got to, while I was waiting for him to come and have a conversation, I got to the question, what do you think about alcohol? And this was on like page 15 after filling the whole thing out. Right. And I just said, oh, I closed the computer because I felt like I just can't do this anymore. I can't keep working in these places where honestly we're tied up with these issues that don't really matter. And it was through, I talked to him and he said, well, maybe, in that conversation, maybe you need to plant a church. I went out to lunch with a friend, an older gentleman who'd been kind of mentoring me, and he said, you need to plant a church. And by the end of that day, I was having beers with
right, there goes that job.
Yeah, exactly. Some friends that I've been meeting with since seminary days, and I said, I think I need to plant a church, and they said, we think you need to as well. And it was so all in one day, I moved from I need to get out the resumes to yes, I need to listen to God.
And if people want to follow up with what's going on in the Evergreen community now, they can do that online at the church website?
Absolutely. Evergreen Life, life.org. And then my personal website, bobhyatt.me, where I blog about church life and pastoring and kind of my journey in that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that's Bob Hyatt. He's going to be one of the contributors at the Church Planners Academy. Join us in Minneapolis, May 3rd through the 5th, 2012. Find out more about Bob. Yeah, this is where you get to point at the website down below. Yeah, nice. There it is. Hey, so that's Bob in Portland, Doug here in Minneapolis. Come and join us. Hang out with the two of us together. May 3rd through the 5th, 2012. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Doug.